Great.
Okay.
I'll do okay.
We are okay.
Awesome.
So I kind of wanted to first say, what do you go, what is most comfortable for you in terms of name? Is it Riz? Is it Riz22? Is it, I know it's not the other name that's showing up here, but
Riz.
what is your preferred name?
I like Riz is fine. But
Riz.
the art world, they of course they know me by the name Riz22, but there's no, we don't have to go ball
Okay.
big.
Okay,
Riz
Riz.
is fine.
So Riz is the name we're gonna go by today. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So I want to say to you, first of all, thank you so much for joining me, for spending time, for a little bit of time to just kind of kick it and talk a little bit about who you are, what you're doing. I think you do really fabulous stuff, by the way. This is not to sweeten you up, but it is to sweeten you up, because I don't really say anything that I don't really mean, and I truly feel like your stuff is, it hits the scale of really being funky and really being deep.
Thank you.
Right? And when I say deep, I mean deep in a sense of I'm looking at something and I'm thinking about a whole bunch of different things, whether you intended for that to be the case. That's kind of what happens when I look at some of your work, right?
Awesome.
So thank you for that. And let's talk, right? Because I met you. Oh, I got tuned into you because a friend of mine is very close to you, is family to you, and she sent me your reel a couple of years ago. When I had opened, I was working in an art gallery, running an art gallery, and she sent me your reel, and literally I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. I like the fact that you were doing live painting, right? That's what totally like caught my attention. And so I went to kind of see what else you were doing, and I got to see that you were doing, you had some other paintings, and I was like, oh wow, this guy's really good. But I knew you were on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, and I was like, okay, how would we even get him here to do an event, right? And that's what I was thinking when she initially sent it to me. Anyway, I left the studio and now I'm kind of doing my own thing, and my own thing really is about, is as you know, called Art in June, and it's really about me digging deeper into artists and how they actually show up in terms of their mental space as they're creating their end product, right?
Absolutely.
And so the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and they were like, Art in June, what does that mean? That means like if you're having an event in June and I'm traveling and I can't show up to the event, maybe that's, and I was like, nah, that's not really how I see that, but it's cool. You don't have to really fully understand that. The concept for me is really bigger than me, right? I said Art in June because art is within me. It is who I am as well. But also it takes up a mental space in my head. And I know that it does for other creatives too. And I really want to explore that. So I don't care necessarily. Well, let me just say this. I don't care necessarily so much about the creative process. I care what's happening in your head during the creative process.
It's
okay.
And that's a whole different thing.
Exactly.
It's a whole different
it's a deeper dive.
It's a deeper dive.
It's a deeper dive. So let's get into the deeper dive.
Absolutely.
So talk to me.
I love this.
Who is Riz? Tell me who Riz is.
So basically, I represent imperfection. I represent everything that imperfection is. I get my powers from being imperfect. I find that it's the imperfections that make the masterpiece the masterpiece. So I am what I create. You create what you are. You are what you eat. I believe, and like Leonardo da Vinci said, perfection is absolutely unachievable, even as the most perfect artist. So you might as well embrace those parts of yourself that aren't perfect at all, And that's what I did. I embraced those parts of me, and I built a career on it.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great. Um, did you always feel comfortable about doing that, or
No.
okay?
I did not always feel comfortable. As a creative, you go through a lot of back and forths, with yourself. You go, a lot of decision making, a lot of where you are in the world. You're trying to find, you tend to play many different roles in your head before you actually begin to start your journey and process into this thing that you're doing.
Yeah,
It's kind of like being an inventor. The divine invention comes from a bump on the head. It comes through a weird place. It comes from a weird place in time. It's something not planned. It's something not organized. It's the opposite of organization. It's the opposite of planning. It's the opposite of being in alignment. This is not, it's a different kind of a career. It's more of an esoteric chartering. It's definitely like that.
So so tell me something. So when you said,
Yes.
when you woke up one day, right?
Yes.
And you realized you had this talent and this gift.
Yes.
I'm going off script, by the way, if you can't tell by now, right?
Absolutely.
But when you realized that you had this gift and this talent and you wanted to be able to explore that.
Yes.
Were you afraid? Were you concerned? Were you just not thinking that you're going to fail, or like how did you approach it?
All the above. I'm going to say all. Yeah, when you get all the above going through your head. Every last question you ask is what exactly goes through your head. Will I fail? Will I succeed? Am I? What is it going to take to make this omelet? Because you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. That's the bottom line. And so, you're going to have to do some experimentation with that brain of yours, in order to be the best artist that you can be. And that doesn't always mean doing the good things. It means doing a lot of the bad things and then coming back to the good things.
Yeah.
Is what it means, And so it's definitely the case of the mad scientist,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Did I answer the question?
Yeah, you did.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yeah. That's authentic and honest, right? Because I think that in our minds, we think that something is going to be really great. Oh, when I do, it's going to be phenomenal. And then you get someplace and you put something out and you're like, oh God.
Oh yes.
Somebody thinks somebody's going to love this, right? In your mind, you're thinking they're going to love it.
May I? Okay.
Yeah,
What's so funny about with that? It's like this. I find a lot of times as an artist, the very things that you hate, people will love.
Yes.
And the very things you love, people will hate.
Yes.
So you really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I did test this theory by putting the things that I absolutely hate out there that I do. You should. I love everything I do, but I don't necessarily fall in love with everything I do.
You have your favorites.
I have my things that I don't like at all.
Yeah.
And I put those things out there just to test the waters. It's not. I don't always put what I like out there. Sometimes I put what I hate out there and just see what it does. And it's always the first to sell.
Isn't
the things that I absolutely despise that I do, those paintings, they always sell first. People want them. They eat them up. And the stuff that I love, the stuff that I adore, it just sits around. It sits around in my apartment. You see it right here.
Yeah. No, that's real, because
yes.
I am not a painter. I like to sketch and stuff and kid around, doodle things, but I don't consider myself a painter. I'm a writer by trade, right?
Yes.
And I know that sometimes I'll write something, it just comes like that. And there are other times some people will be like, oh my God, this is really good. And in my mind, I'm going, it's how I feel. But I don't think, but the stuff that I think is really good or could be really good, I don't ever show it to anybody. You know what I mean? Or I kind of sit on it for a while and I go back and I look at it and I go, I don't know if I really want to share this yet. But I've learned that as an artist, the minute that you create something, and you share it with somebody, it's no longer yours.
No longer yours. Exactly. They're your children. So you birth these children, you send them out into the world, and they adopt lives of their own. They you know, they inspire. They
Correct.
they they become other lives, and they become a part of other people's lives. And they come, and then they bring, and then they tend to bring things back home every now and then. You know, different surprises.
Yes.
It's amazing that, you know, God knows how many children I've birthed as first paintings out there, and how many times they've come back to me in very weird ways. You know,
Interesting, right?
yeah, it's amazing. Some paintings have changed people's lives. Some have helped them in their time of need. You know, when they
Yeah.
were the sickest. Some, you know, some inspired uh, people that had no talent at all. I mean, no. I mean, they probably had
Yeah.
talent hidden in them, and they took an interest in painting because of my painting that they
Because
had.
of your painting, yeah.
And yeah, but I never knew. I never. That wasn't my intention. My intention was just to birth, like, you know, like a mother gives birth to a child. I just want to birth and keep birthing and just,
Sure.
yeah,
Do
that's my,
you did you go to school for painting, for
yeah.
art?
I did, but I dropped out. I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
AIU. I did.
Got it.
Yeah. But I dropped out after my mother died.
Wow,
And
so sorry.
So yeah, your you know, our friend's sister. Yeah, exactly. Your friend's is
Yeah.
my mother. Is my mother. And
Okay.
when she died, along with the death of my daughter, who was, it's a big long story. She was murdered.
Oh
But that's a
God.
whole
Okay.
different, yeah, story.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
By her mother. Yeah,
Oh God.
which is
Okay.
a whole deeper
Whoa.
thing. Yeah, it's
That's
a whole
heavy.
deeper. That's caused, that trauma is what made me paint, and I could no longer stand in line and abide by the same rules as the rest of everybody else. I had to become me, and I had to become me now. And the best way to do that was to pick up that brush and go to work. So I lost my mind and painted nonstop, 267 shows a year for over a decade across the country with absolutely no plan but to just do that. And that's
Really?
how I was able to heal myself, by venting,
Yeah.
by throwing up the worst parts of me in front of me so I could see,
Yeah.
evaluate, you know,
Oh,
and so
that's
that,
heavy. Okay, let's go there because now we're getting ready to open that door.
yes,
So talk to me about what do you, so we're talking trauma,
yes,
we're talking pain,
pain,
we're
yes,
talking grief,
grief,
we're
yes.
talking depression,
Yes, we're talking depression. We're
we're
talking grief.
talking something psychotic happening,
Something psychotic, maybe. Yes, we're talking
right?
about that right now.
No, that's real.
Yeah.
That's
We're going through
understandable.
all of those. You have to play when you're in this position, you kind of have to, you're going to deal with all of that. And that's the reality of what they're not telling a lot of these younger artists. It's like, you know, there will be a point in your life where you will be put to the test, and once you go past these processes, these different processes, and then you come out of them, then you'll be a maestro. You'll be able to conduct your orchestra. You'll be able to conduct these things and be able to organize. But that doesn't necessarily happen in the beginning. You're a mess. You start as a complete mess, and then you somehow, you still stay a mess, but you somehow wield this mess
Yeah,
into
you create a
something beautiful.
message out of that mess.
Yeah, you create this beautiful message out of this dysfunction. You know, that's where it comes from. I think it
So,
stems from,
wow.
yeah,
So that's, listen, deep out to you, number one, for you still standing and you being able to talk about that.
yes,
Deep out to you for that.
yes,
My heart goes out to you. I feel that, right?
yes,
But I'm so glad you're here being able to share that.
yes.
And being
You
able to
will
share that with some confidence.
absolutely. You will go through suicidal tendencies. You will go through depression. You will go through, uh, you lose your appetite. You will go through many stages in your art process. But it is to those that hold on to the hope and believe that, you believe in the light. If you know what the light is, then you will come out on top. You will come out a successful artist. But first, sorry to say, you have to go through the ringer. It's like
Yeah,
wringing out a towel. It's a lot.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot that comes with that, especially when you're
yeah.
an automatic artist. So there's a difference between an artist and a decorator. Now, let me break this down. So there's a lot of people that have the skill. They may have the skill to do painting, but it doesn't necessarily make them an artist. You know, because a lot of these times, these guys are using projectors now. They're using stencils. They're not even creating from their minds anymore. You understand? They're just decorating. So let me just break down the difference between an artist and a decorator. So I will only paint what I feel and only what I feel. And, you know, I don't care if it looks good. You know, it may look, if it looks good to you, good. But if it doesn't, then oh well, no problem.
Right.
But a decorator will only do what looks good. An artist will only do what feels good and only what feels good. And that is my rule. That's why I use no projectors. I use no stencils. I use nothing but my mind and my hands, and I go to work.
Wow.
You know, because I believe you cheat yourself. You really cheat yourself when you're putting up this pose as an artist. You know, like when you're just trying to make your work look great for everybody else so that you can be adored and loved. And it's not what I'm about. I'm about expressing what feels good. So if my art feels good to you, that's what I would love to. I love hearing that when people say, "Hey, I was feeling your work." Yeah, great. That's what I want. You know, when people tell me, "Oh yeah, it looks good," you know, I'm like, I lost. I feel like I lost that battle. I feel like I lost in art. You know, I don't want to be the guy that looks good. I want to be the guy that feels good. I want to be whatever comes to the feeling of it.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I receive that. Wow, that's heavy. So tell me something. It's what you just said, I relate that to the thought of AI and a writer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You're writing something, you know, it's on paper, it's from your head, from your mind to the paper.
Yes.
And then you go get AI.
Yeah, and you go get AI, right? Exactly. That's exactly what it's like.
That's what and so you know, now you can actually now AI, there's a tool that you can write a book with AI. Right?
Yes.
So I'm like, are you really the author then?
Are you really the author then? Exactly. So now the robot.
Right to what you were saying.
So now what's happening now is the robot is doing your art. So now the robot is the artist. There's a thin line between genius and insanity, and I'd rather spend my time dancing on that fine line and go into myself to bring that out, and then to cheat myself by bringing something different to you that
create a surrogate.
Exactly right. Correct.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you for that. What? So tell me something.
Yes.
As we're talking about being authentic and being organic in the work that you produce, what astonishes you about the creative process?
I'm going to say it happens with the initial first touch. It's the addiction of that when that brush touches the canvas, that first moment. Everything from that to the direction that it takes of its own. So let me just break this down for you. So when you're an illustrator, okay, you have control over that pen, right? The pen is mightier than the sword. You know, that's control. But painting is the opposite of that control. You see, painting is like trying to wield water. So you have to make a bond with that paint before you even begin this journey. And that involves being vulnerable to the universe. That means that you have to give up your sense of control in order to wield this. You know, so it's like you're surrendering to the forces and you're conjuring them into, you know, before you can even develop.
Wow. So, okay. So you are feeling, one day you decide you're going to paint and you're feeling, not so great. You're feeling upset, you're feeling angry, you're feeling whatever. I can't hear you. Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So one day you decide that, you're going to paint, and this is a day that you're feeling sad, or you're feeling angry,
Yes.
or you're feeling whatever.
Yes.
How do you give up that control? How are you, what's the mindset that you
And then I go into
have to
memory.
kind of recreate or create to be
Yes.
able to
To paint.
start the process of painting?
Correct. So then I go, I don't, so then I go for my triggers. So every human being has their triggers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be, mine is grief. My trigger is grief. So I go into my dark past to trigger something extremely emotional. I think about something extremely emotional that causes me to want to do something. It will cause a certain burst, a certain frustration to where it's back. That zap that you lost is back all of a sudden because of memory. Then I go to my memories and retrieve the most painful memories in order to reboot myself so that I become motivated again.
Got it.
So yeah, so trauma could actually be a good Kickstarter in certain cases if you use it correctly. It's like, you deal with it, you store it away, and you use it for a good day. Maybe you might need to think about that painful moment to bring out the biggest, to bring out the champion in you. You might need that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So, how long do you paint in the course of a day? I know the answer, but I'm going to let you tell me. I think I know the answer.
Yeah. That's a good question. Okay, so it's 24 hours. It could be at 3 in the morning. It's at 9. It's at 12. It's when I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm not lying. It's when I'm sitting on the toilet. It's when you're It's literally at all hours of the day. It never leaves you. You sleep. You got to sleep with a sketch pad. You're kind of like this crazy inventor. You're always walking around. You're taking notes. You're observing life. You're testing anatomy. You're consistently testing the fields of anatomy, exaggerating them, shrinking them, imploding them. You definitely become a scientist, and you kind of have to be with it at all hours of the day. It has to stay with you. It can never leave you. You're kind of married to it.
Yeah, you are married to it.
Yes, it's a marriage. It really is a marriage between you and it.
So when do you sleep?
Whenever I can, maybe once a week, really long time. Maybe once a week, twice a week, maybe for a really long time. The rest of the time, yeah. Because listen, all the hours of operation. You could very well have something going on at 3 in the morning. You could very well have something going on at 1 in the morning. You have to do, live, especially when you do live painting, or gigs or whatever. That could be it's around the clock. Because I'm in a different kind of a realm of art.
Yeah.
Where I'm not waiting for anybody to come to me. I'm bringing it to you. I'm bringing the process to you. I'm live painting. I'm a live painter. I'm not someone that hangs their work up, and that's fine and all, but I've done that. But I prefer something a little bit more exciting, more intriguing. So what I wanted to do is I want to show my guts. I want to show my veins. I want to expose the deeper elements while in front of you, so you have a deeper understanding of what goes into the finished product.
Wow. So you're going, all right, so you're going to an event.
Yes.
The event starts at, let's say the event is
1 in the morning. 3 in the morning. Yep.
So you're there.
You're there.
And do you paint one thing, or do you paint many things in the course of a night?
Sometimes I do up to 5 to 10 paintings in a night in one sitting.
Do you sell them there?
Yes, they sell. They always sell out all the time. Every time. I'm lucky for that. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that, at all. But I'm really glad that happens. I'm just lucky that happens to me. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. Yeah, but
and I'm sure they don't sell for like $1. So
no, oh yeah, definitely not. Not to say I have not ever sold my paintings for $1, because I have. I've sold them for whatever. I've traded them. Bartered.
Yeah.
In my life, you have to deal. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta be,
Yeah.
you gotta deal. And as a matter of fact, 50% when you're first starting out, as a matter of fact, when you're first starting out, 50% of your paintings are often given away. The other 50% are sold in the beginning when you're first starting out. This is how you get off the ground. This is how you get for promotion. This is how you actually get out there. This is how you
Okay.
actually become great. And you know, when you become consistent with it, you know, by you can't do it for the dollar. You can't even put the dollar amount in your head until you get that down. The fact that
Yeah.
it becoming a lifestyle, like something that you just can do forever. You know what I mean? That's when the dollars come. When you've accepted the fact that, hey, I love this. I'm going to do it no matter what, whether it makes me money or not. That's when the money comes. That's when it came for me. The minute I was like, I don't care if it makes me $10, if it makes me $20. I'm going to do this because I know this is the one thing I could do forever and ever and ever. And when I did that, the finances just rolled, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's authentic.
Yes. Yes.
It's authentic and it's organic in terms of how you even present yourself to
Yes.
folks, to begin for them to begin to even respect it as much
Definitely.
as you do, right? Even if they don't
Yes.
know how it came about, they at least
Yes.
respect the sweat equity, right? And
Yes.
and then on top of that, your talent,
Yes.
right? So yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's all of that is priceless. So I'm never going to ask
Yes.
you, you know, what is the most your stuff
Oh, you
sells for?
can. I mean, you can. You
But
can.
well,
Would you like me to tell you? I mean,
yeah, I would like you to tell me.
okay. Yeah, okay. So
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So I've
As of
seen
now, because I think
as of now. Okay. As
it's
of
gonna
now.
go.
As
As
of
of now.
now, one of my pieces have gone as much as for 60,000. That's my marker. That's where as much as I've ever sold one.
That's
Second in line was probably 35,000, and third was probably a $15,000 piece. Yeah, so that's pretty much
so
the
wait a
most.
minute. So when that happened, what did you do? What was the first thing you did when you sold a
I,
painting for
I
are you represented?
uh-huh.
Are you represented by anybody?
I do have an agent. I have an agent, but I'm not. I'm not represented by a company. But
Okay.
I do have an agent
Okay.
out of New York City, and he's really good.
Okay.
He's a production manager.
So your agent, well, obviously you have to pay your agent too, but
Yes, yes,
when you got that sale,
yes.
what was the first thing you did?
I grew wings, and I basically grew. And I said to myself, I will never, ever, ever, ever in life put down the brush.
There you go.
Yeah. Like the first, and I was really thankful. I thank God. It was a very spiritual moment for me.
Yeah.
I probably prayed for hours. It's really great. You know, I'll never forget that feeling. It was quite, quite often, you know, it's just a great feeling. It's just great.
So is that fair to say that the question I was going to ask you is what gives you goosebumps?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Did that give you
that's a good
goosebumps?
one. Yeah. So what gives me goosebumps? Basically, yeah, it's fair to say that that's what gives me goosebumps. But I love, like I said, I love the impact of the vast results that the pieces bring back to me after they're created and during the creation. I like the reactions that it intrigues. I like people. I like to see people's the way what makes people tick with when they come into contact with it. You know, I love that part of it. Seeing where it goes and seeing where it ends up once it's in the process. I love that.
Got it. Um, so have you made peace with the fact that the mental changes that you may go through or you may experience,
Hmm.
um, have you made peace with that's kind of like a part of you forever? Or have you gotten to a place where you are able to um get beyond?
Yes.
those spaces of pain and anger and
Yes,
sadness and
yes, you do. Well, once you accept that it is a part of you, you do get beyond it. Yeah, it's kind of both. It's kind of both. You know, it's kind of like, you know, the minute that is accepted, then you could start to deal with it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Yeah, yeah. So you know, you accept that part, and then life becomes really easy, becomes really beautiful, becomes you know, you don't go through the suffering in your head anymore. You don't go through that, and you might do less paintings because you're in a happier place. But you know, yeah, but yeah, you do find the solution. You know,
some
you
healing.
yeah, you do heal. You do eventually heal. You will heal. It helps you heal.
So
It's preventing.
so when you're in the midst of the when you're in that midst of, I guess, I don't want to say, chaos. I don't want to say chaos. I don't want to call it that.
Yes,
But when you're in that tender space, let's just say, right?
yes.
You're painting a lot, but when you are able to heal, you said you're painting less.
Yeah,
So what
it comes
what
from
is a lot versus what is less? Like, what's the
okay.
amount?
A lot is like 60 paintings in a day. 60 in a
60,
day.
60.
60, 60 in one day. Well, now when you're that's through pain. Now, when you're in a happy place like now, you know, maybe two to five a day is where you're at when I'm in this happy place. 2 to 5 in comparison to 60. Yeah,
Wait a minute. Wait. So
the
the
fire.
six,
It's because of the fire. The fire. When the flame is on, flame is on. It comes from a place of anger. It comes from a place of depression. It comes from it, but it's not a slow down. It's a speed up when you're on fire. And
yeah.
so you tend to produce more when you're ignited emotionally. So my worst days were really my best days when I was angry, when I was frustrated because it was like flame on, and I would just you know,
Got
and
it.
then it was just to go. It was just go time, you know. And
Got
it's
it.
like
Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's how you
Yeah.
channel.
Wow.
That's how you channel emotion. Emotion. I believe emotion is a gift. It could be the greatest gift of all if you learn how to channel correctly.
So okay, so clearly you're not sleeping.
No, not really.
So the two to when you
I have to force. I kind of have to force myself to go down. You know, I
yeah,
really have to use extreme. Like I really got to be like, hey, this is it. That's it. You know, I return. You know, because the mind is like the body is like a wild horse that must be obtained by the rider, the mind. So it's you know, you know, you kind of gotta tame it like
yeah.
a wild. Is very much so
So
like a wild horse.
so when you're in your happy place and you're painting two to
Mhm.
five paintings a day,
Yes.
you have to be able to sleep at some point. You're getting
At some
sick.
point, oh yeah, at some point you do. Yeah, you just fall out with
Yeah,
no plan. You kind of just fall.
you just collapse.
You
Yeah,
just collapse. Yeah, and
yeah.
sometimes you wake up with a puddle of paint on your face. Sometimes you know you have you wake up purple. Sometimes you wake up blue. Sometimes you wake up yellow. And you know yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. I like that though. But it's cool. That's who you are, right?
Yes.
That leads me to my next question. So what does art mean to you?
Okay. So wow, what does art mean to me? To me, uh, art is a lot of things. It's divine invention. It's esoteric knowledge through numerical meaning and symbols. It's life. To me, it's not an impression of life. To me, it is life. Yes,
I believe that too.
yes.
It's in
But with the
everything that we do.
yes,
Yeah, I
but
believe that.
I do find the divine invention in it. I find the esoteric knowledge in it, and I do find a numerical meaning. And I do find like a lot of like scribes in Egypt, you know, that channel messages from above, like a copy machine. I feel like I channel images through my brain because you know a lot of stuff that I paint is from something that is not known. It's from the unknown. You know,
Whole
so
nother realm.
it's a whole nother realm.
Yeah,
So in order to bring something from the unknown into the known, you have to
Yeah.
be vulnerable to the universe.
Yeah. You have to be willing to be the vehicle for it
Yeah, you got to be like an
to come
antenna,
through. Yeah, yeah,
kind of like
yeah.
an antenna.
So that explains why you think these are like your children.
Exactly, they're my children. They kind of are. There's just always going to be an attachment to even the work that you forgot about. There's always an attachment to it. There's always. They really are your children.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you take advice from your fears?
Only in certain cases where it's life threatening. A lot of times I do not take advice from my peers. I tend to often chat. If I fear something, I tend to test it by going after, like by defying the odds.
Yeah.
I tend to push against the grain a little bit. I
Yeah.
tend to wrestle with it.
Yeah.
But for deep down, sometimes fear can keep you safe. But but playing it too safe isn't cool.
Yeah.
When you play it too, there's no rewards for used car salesmen. Meaning, if you play it too safe, there's nothing in that for you. It's just safety, and you just stay in that one place, safe all your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to take risks.
It's that box.
It's that box. Yeah, it's the box. It's like
Yeah.
You sometimes but a fear could be used to keep you safe, or it could be used to cripple you. Or yeah.
I asked you that because you said that your ideas or what you create comes from another space, right?
Yes.
And sometimes I think that when things come from another space, or you don't even know why or how, it feels kind of scary as you're processing it, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, you either then your intuition, I guess, either tells you whether you should act upon that or not.
Yes.
Right? But I really also believe that your intuition also tells you how to approach it.
Yes, it does. It sure does. It's like that. It's kind of like having another rider along that just knows what to do. It's like, there's you, and then there's that other thing that you listen to. It just knows what to do. But that it kind of is able to how do you say it? Merge with the world.
Yeah.
Being that the real you is so different. There's the me. Yeah. There's that other aspect of me.
They're the conduit.
Yeah. You have to have it. You kind of have to have that to be a part of it.
Yeah.
To be able to join the rest of humanity.
Yeah. I hear you on that.
Yet still exist as an individual and kind of go into that. You know what I mean?
I hear you then.
You kind of have to have both counterparts.
So, what's next for you?
I'm sorry, one more time.
What's next for you?
Oh, what's next? Okay, so let's see here. So what's next for me is I'm doing art auctions for the super rich that have to do with a lot of fundraising for nonprofits, as well as profitable auctions that raise money for different organizations, different things.
Yeah.
For sick children, some just for myself, some to benefit maybe kids sports programs that kids are playing. But my plan is just to do a lot of these auctions over the next year, along with planning worldwide my trips for worldwide festivals such as I'm sorry. I'm trying to think the name. It's in Germany. It's
okay.
We'll come back to that.
That's fine. That's fine.
We do worldwide festivals, and also to be an author and an illustrator this year coming out with with more than one book, more like 5 books at one time.
All art books, or is this stories? Your story, telling your story.
Yeah. All of them will be stories. There's 3 comic books, 1 book. Well, I'm sorry, 3 comic books, 1 book, 1 picture book, and actually, so that's more than 5. And then you got Pat's project, this project that I'm flying to Vermont to do, where I'm painting the illustrations, and they're going to be in a gallery exhibition in the middle of, Manhattan or whatever, and then he's doing the book signing, like that thing.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Then there's that book. where I have it's just all these animal different characters like this DJ guy. May I show you? So like this is one of, yeah, so you're about to see this guy everywhere. See this guy?
Okay.
See that guy
Wow.
right there? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like one of the characters in this new book that I'm
What's the
finally
character's
out.
name? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
You hear me?
Yeah, say that again. What's the character's name? You're on mute again. Okay,
You hear
now
me
you're
now?
not on mute. What's
Oh
the
my
character?
God. You hear me?
Now I can.
You hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I didn't quite
I was asking you what was his name.
yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the character's name. I just developed the character first.
Okay.
He never once shared the character's name when I was going over the story. I didn't even develop the character in this one.
Oh. Yeah.
This character was developed by Pat White
Got
of
it.
for Cirque du Soleil and Blue Man. They were
Okay.
collaborating on this book.
Got it.
Yes,
Got it.
but I could show you all. I mean, I could definitely point out all the characters in my others.
Would
Yeah,
love that.
yeah, definitely. I don't
Yeah.
know if you want to see that now. You know, different
I would
images.
love that. Sure.
Yeah, see. So, this is
I see
funny.
you're so super excited about that.
Yes, I was. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. The dust. Give me the dust effect. Dust effect. Is this the dust effect? That's the dust effect. Give me that. Okay, so this is one of my projects coming out, Dust Effect, through Dorrance Publishing. And this is a story about the second coming. And the second coming being a woman that emerges from the Hudson River. It's a long story. I guess she was murdered, thrown in the river, and she emerges as rises and becomes the second coming figure. And her name is Das, and there's a whole series about it I've written. So I'll show you a picture of Das right now. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
The storyline is off the chain. It's really quite simple.
Well, I'm intrigued just by you telling me what you're telling me, because
yes.
I don't live far from the Hudson River.
Yes. Yeah. It's quite powerful. So this is let me hold on. Here we are. Here we are. These are just pages. I'm just gonna show you. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me show you something here. Trying to get a clear picture here because these are all just comic pages.
Sketches. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to show you the real deal. Let's see here. Pages. Sorry, just one moment. Here we are.
No, right. Look, I'm just going off script, so it's all good. Wow.
Yes, that is the cover.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. As you see, so she's meditating over this. I don't know if you can see that very well.
Looks like a church.
Well, it's actually a city. Yeah. You're gonna see the city in the background.
And the Eye of Horus.
Yes.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, you got all these
very
different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better to see in person.
So
I have
okay.
I have this graphic designer right now doing the color input for the comic.
So when are you looking to put that out?
This one's going to get put out in July, definitely. First comes this book that I'm working on, this collaborative project. Then
Right.
comes DOS Effect and the 3 books that come with it.
And the 3 books. Okay. Well, I'm excited. So now where can
I'm gonna put out 1 book with just all pictures. I'm just gonna put out all my paintings in it. I'm gonna put out one book I'm just gonna put out is just gonna have nothing but the paintings that I've done. I got about 15,000 images out there on the internet. My plan is to combine at least some of those, a very small portion of those, my best hits, and put them all into 1 book.
the stuff you like?
The
Or
stuff
the
that,
stuff that people
well,
like?
probably the stuff that they like. The stuff that I like is more like Basquiat, more like the
Yeah.
stuff I like is very abstract. The stuff I like is not what a lot of people like. I like the stuff that's crazy. I like the stuff that makes you wonder. I like stuff that makes absolutely
What were
no
they
sense.
thinking when they created
It might not make any sense to. The stuff that I like is stuff that doesn't make sense. It may not make immediate sense to anyone, but it might have a deeper meaning to me.
Absolutely. I respect that. That's how I feel. I
Yeah.
totally respect that. I respect the time we've shared and the time
Yes.
we've spent just chatting and getting into a portion of your mind.
Yes.
I really do I marvel at your commitment to the work that you do and how you approach it.
Thank you.
So I am excited to see what's next and how this comes to fruition, but I'm more excited about working with you, talking with you,
Yes.
and just kind of seeing how this whole thing plays out.
Yes.
Because I think your work and your
Yes.
value in your work is phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's phenomenal. And I say that because I appreciate your ability to be vulnerable in the
Yes.
spaces that most people are not able to be vulnerable or afraid to be vulnerable. So I thank you for
Yes.
being able to just kind of take it on the chin, if you will.
So I'm just glad I'm able to do it.
Yeah. And I'm glad you got a little rest at least.
Yes.
So how can people tell me before we go, tell me about that image and that in the background.
Oh yeah, this one I want to show you.
Standing by, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the inside of my brain.
Wow.
I painted, basically me, and what you're looking at is basically my imitation, my impression of me and my brain and how it works.
Wow.
Yeah, let me stand back and let you get a good look at that. Can you see that? You see
Riz,
that kind of
that's really deep.
Yes. You kind of see where my
Wow.
mind is. Yes. You really want to take a look inside of my head.
I can't, like, I need to look at that for like a good period of time.
I can send you a picture of it.
Take it in.
Let's just back that up a little bit so you can see the whole.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see this.
Wow.
Let's see if you can see that whole thing.
I can see most of it. Yeah.
Back it up more. Yeah, a little more.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
cool.
heavy.
I'll make sure I send you a good pic of it too.
Please do. I was just
Definitely.
gonna say I need to see a picture of that because I need to study that. I think that's I can't even begin to put words to that right now. I need to really look at that.
Yeah, I just showed you my big brain. That's what I'm gonna show you.
No, that is your infinite mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's your infinite mind. And that's the thing that makes you who you are, right?
Yeah.
So keep rizzing.
Definitely, I'll keep rizzing it.
Keep rizzing. How do people find you?
Oh, they can find me either through Riz22.com, R-I-Z 22.com, or you can just Google Riz22, R-I-Z 22, and you'll get, every point of contact.
So it's one Z and not two Z's?
Just one Z, not two Z's. I'm the old school, not the new school Riz.
Okay. Because I had two Z's.
New school Riz is two Z's. But I'm the old school Riz. It's the one.
But you're the old school Riz. Okay, cool. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
So I am it's 6:52, so I'm thankful for us being able to chat. I think
Yes,
I've asked you all of the questions I wanted to ask. We could keep talking, but
it's
I
so awesome.
know I know that you know, there's this other thing called life, and there's
Yes,
life events
yeah,
that you've got to paint.
yes, that's what I gotta
You got
paint,
to
right?
paint that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
said it. You said it.
So, you know, do what you got to do. I'm not mad at that. I think, you know, you got to go and you got to, you know, make it happen. And that's the beauty of it,
Yes,
right? But I
right.
think that I wish you all the good luck, all the speed
Thank
in all
you.
the stuff that you do. A deep bow to you because I think you are on your journey and it's wonderful to watch it. And
Thank
just
you.
keep doing.
You know, I hope to achieve absolute success though. What I really want to do is do like a Bob Ross program eventually with live painting. You know, I hope that I eventually, I mean, I'm praying to get to that level.
Wait, you want to do what?
Live painting on TV, like on a Bob Ross level. That's actually
Okay.
my primary goal. You know, I hope that the next time we have this interview, I'll be doing that.
I think you'll be able to do some more stuff, more
Definitely.
than that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to do more than
It's
that.
kind of where I want to take it. I kind of want to take the direction into the mainframe of broadcasting. I kind of want to do that. I want to bring the process into a broadcast.
Into a broadcast.
Yeah, I would like to do that in some way.
I think too, well, okay, you know, look, I have something else I want to say. So I'm gonna stop our recording, but I want to say, don't hang up, but I'm gonna stop our recording because I want to say thank you so
Yeah,
much for being with us. Thank you for allowing me to get inside of your mind and into
yeah.
your art. I loved it, every moment of it. So thank you so much for that. Hold tight.
Awesome. Definitely. I'll hold tight.